Hello everybody, thank you so much for watching today. Today I'm going to go through a tutorial on Touch of Magic Furniture, which is our tool in the game to be able to customize certain furniture pieces. And I found from some of my subscribers that not everybody knows that this tool is available, especially the newer players, or how to use it. It can be kind of intimidating when you first try, so I'm going to try to make a little basic tutorial so you can start trying it out and using the tool. It's a really nice option to be able to just add some different colors here and there. Some of these things that I have out were a little bit more complicated, but some are a lot easier than you would think. You can make all types of designs to kind of change your space in the valley, or use just different colors of items that we don't have available in our catalog. Yeah, so I'm going to just go through the basics. So there are actually all of these items, but there's many items that you can customize just by crafting them. So when you go into your crafting menu under furniture, if you scroll down, you'll see these white items like the armchair, beach chair, all of these ones with the paintbrush in the corner, you can use Touch of Magic on to customize. So as many of these that you craft, you can make a design for each type of furniture piece, and you can use it on as many of the items that you have crafted. And there's also some items available in Daisy's shop that you can purchase with Daisy coins. So I'm just going to go through some basics to show you the tool and how it works. So the first thing is, wherever your avatar is standing in the game is where it is going to place down the item that you're going to customize. So you want to make sure to have a good amount of empty free space so that it doesn't place the item down onto like other objects and things. Just makes it a lot easier. So when you go into furniture menu, the first thing you have is this customize option. So I select that and it'll bring up all of your designs if you have any. And then at the bottom it has this add new button. So I want to select that, and then it'll bring up all the options that I have available. So if you haven't crafted something, it won't be in here, or if you don't have any left, it won't be in here. You can see some of these items are the ones that you would buy at Daisy's with Daisy coins. So you just select which item you want to customize. So I'm just going to do a basic rug right now. I'm going to select it and click create. And then you can see that we have kind of limited view on this rug, but I'm on PC. So these are my buttons down here by the left. It'll tell you how to kind of zoom in and out, how to rotate it and do different views. Depending on what platform or controller you're using or things, it will tell you down here how to do that. And then this whole blue rectangle box here that says layers is the tool that we're going to use. So at the bottom, this big white square, when we select that, it's going to bring up our material and color menu. So this big square at the top is where we would select which texture we want. These are all the ones that are available through the game. So there's like a carpet and rattan and like all these different options, woods and marbles and concrete, shiny metals, different patterns. And when you do select one, like if it's a pattern, you can change the color on it. So don't think that if you select a certain one that it has to be that color. So once I select it, I'm just going to select a basic wood for now. It will bring up your color options, so I can change this to like a lighter wood if I want, or a darker wood. You can change it, you know, to all colors, obviously, if I wanted to do some crazy like purple rug or something. But you can select the two color options here on what you want just by selecting each of them and choosing your color. We are a little bit limited, I feel like, on the colors, but we do our best to get what we want. And then we have this glossiness option where we can turn down or turn up the glossiness. If you turn it up, it makes it very shiny. If you wanted your object to be shiny, or you can turn it down if you don't want any kind of shine and glossiness on it. And then we have this metal option if you wanted your object to be metal, which probably wouldn't be the wood, but you might be making a metal flooring for an industrial area or wall area or something, or some type of metal desk or whatever, but that option is available here. So once I have my material selected and my colors, we could just use it like that. Then I could just escape for me to close that, and I can escape to save and quit. And then when I'm in my customize menu, my rug will show up in here. So I can delete it, I can edit it again, or I can use it. So if I just wanted to place it down somewhere, make a little deck somewhere, I could add some fencing or some pathing around it to make it look more like a deck if I wanted to. Once I am in furniture mode and click on customize, I can go down and find my rug. I want to edit it more, so I select this paintbrush and I'll go through the tools with you. So if I wanted to change the material and stuff, I could again, but we're gonna go add some layers to it. When I click on this plus button, it opens up the motif category. You can select a different category by it, and you can also filter it if you were searching for like a certain item or theme or whatnot. When I click on all, I can just look at what motif I want to put on here. I'm just gonna put Stitch on here because he's cute for now, just to show you. So when I select the motif, it places it down on the rug. And then I have this arrow option to make the motif bigger or smaller. I can also move my camera around so I can see it differently. And then when I select this cube option, it brings up all my tools available. So this very first option here that looks kind of the rotating arrow option, this will flip the object from right to left. So if I wanted it to actually look like that, I could select that. You know, you can switch it back and forth. This second option is a mirror tool. So when I select that, it's going to mirror the motif and create a second one. And then I can move them around to where I want together so that they're always exactly mirrored of each other. Or you can also, if I wanted to edit one of them, once I click away so that this tool isn't open, I need to click away or press your close button so that it closes the tools. And then you can see on the left that I have my two motifs. So I can select which one I want to manipulate if I want to. So I mirrored it, but then say I wanted to actually have this one smaller, and over here I can just move that one around. And so you can, that's how that works. So let's go back to this and go through the other tools. So that's the mirror tool. This scissor tool is a cut tool that will cut through all your layers to your bottom material. Let me add something so that you can see how that works. So I'm just gonna add this really quickly so that you can see how it works. So if I wanted to cut this shape out through all my layers, I can use this scissor tool, and you can see it cuts out that shape through all my layers down to the bottom material of the object. So that's how that works, which is very good for if you're trying to make certain shapes or different things. So it's used a lot when you're making more difficult patterns, or if I just wanted the shape of an object, like to be cut out instead of a color. So if I wanted to cut this out or something, which I could, I don't know why I chose this, but just showing you again how that works. So if I just wanted different shapes or whatnot, I could do that. Okay, and then we have, let's use this guy. So then we have a patterning tool. When we select on this pattern, it's going to multiply the objects everywhere and create a pattern across the whole object. I'm making it bigger or smaller, or I'm just changing the size of it, as you can do here. So this is so you can multiply lines or whatever motif you want, but that's how that patterning tool works, which is very nice and useful because it only uses one layer, and we only get 50 layers, which can add up when you're doing some more complicated designs. So that's how the patterning tool works. If I'm clicked on the pattern, I could also then mirror it, which mirrors that pattern, as you can see. And for this object, I probably wouldn't want them completely on top of each other. So when I press escape to close my tool, again, I'm going to have both of these on here. So I can grab the top one and then I can move it. So let's say I wanted this type of pattern, which looks a little bit crazy on here, but you can change, your second layer to be kind of different than the first. We can have stitch everywhere. But just showing you that once you, that you can also mirror a pattern, and then you can change each of it. It just makes it a little bit easier sometimes in searching for your motif again and things like that. And then we have, let me remove some of this so it doesn't look too crazy. And then I'm really not sure what this arrow is, except for that it turns off the global tool, but I don't really know much functions with that. So this very last tool, I call it the global tool. I don't really know what it's called. I don't know if anybody knows what these are called, or if there's any kind of guide for it from the game, but this tool, when it's turned on, it will wrap your motif around like a 3D dimensional object. So you can't really see well the effects on a flat surface like the rug. So I'll show you that like on a chair or couch or something. But when you're on a flat surface, the only thing it does, if you turn it off, you can get a much smaller size of your motif. So when the global tool is on, you can't get it quite as small. So that's really the only use for it that I've found, like on a flat surface. So that is all of the tools on here. So let's make really quick, using these tools, let's make a boardwalk rug that you could use on the beach. So I'm going to go back. I just clicked out to save it. I'm going to go back and edit this rug. And I'm going to add some lines across it so that it looks like planks. And I'm going to make the lines the color of sand, so that if I place this, actually I'll just make them the color of the grass here, so it would look like I have planks of wood hopefully, in the grass. But normally I would use this like on the beach as like a boardwalk, and I would make them like the color of sand. So you just choose your material. You could choose to use the beachy kind of wood if you want, or, you know, obviously whatever kind of wood that you want and the colors that you want. And then I'm going to add in a rectangle, which is here under shape. So I'm going to add that in, and I'm going to want to make lines out of it. So I'm going to turn it this way, and I want to try to make sure, it's kind of hard sometimes, but I want to try to make sure that it's straight. And you can sometimes see, like when it's turned, you can see the edges like not looking straight. So I want to make sure that it's straight before I do anything else. And then I'm going to kind of just place it over here so it moves me over here. Then I want to mirror pattern this. So you can see when I click on the pattern, it puts the lines everywhere like that. And then I'm going to look at it because, and I could move this all around if I want to. Because when I make a boardwalk, I do want to be able to lay these rugs together and keep putting a long rug together. So I want this plank, when it lines up to the other side, to look like the same size as these ones, right? So I need to either decide to make that where the line is and make these planks the same size. So I'm gonna kind of change the size of my lines to try to do that the best that I can. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because when you actually leave Touch of Magic and you place the objects in the game, you don't notice all the mistakes or little details so much. So don't worry about small details. Don't try to get it perfect. It's really not necessary. So and sometimes you just want to leave and place it down and walk around it like with your avatar to see what it looks like. Okay, so once I have that patterned, I placed it where I want to, I'm gonna mirror it, and then I'm going to close that, and then select the top one, which is my mirrored one, and then I'm just going to move it over the, gaps so that it just looks like we have one continuous line. And then I want to make these lines thinner, and also I only want this line on one of the edges because I want to plank. So I'm going to just mirror this again, and then I'm going to click away. I'm going to select it, it's this top one, and I'm going to change the color so that I know that these are like my cutout ones. And then I'm going to place it to how thick I want the line to be, because I'm going to cut out this line. So I'm going to make these about half size. So I'm going to place it there, and then I'm going to mirror it and cut it out. Let me see what's easiest. I'm going to not cut it yet just so you can see. So I mirrored it, I'm going to click away, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab that mirrored one and place it right over my other one so that we get rid of any gaps, and it's just looks like a continuous line. Oops. Again, I don't know why. Sometimes it's hard to get the lines very straight. It's very touchy on like moving it very much. Okay, so since they're where I want them, I'm going to select these red lines, which are my cutouts, and click on my tools and click the scissors. and it's going to cut through that white line to the bottom and make it just look like a, I didn't mean to select it. Okay, I'm going to back out and look at it. So I have this rug, which actually looks pretty good on the sides, and you can see that I made it because I cut it on this side. I have a line on this side and not at this side, so when I line them up, it looks very continuous. And then I can go back in and edit this so that I can change the colors of my line depending on where I'm placing them. So I'm gonna try to make these the color of this grass if possible. It's never gonna be perfect. We don't have enough color options for it to be perfect, but I just want it to kind of look like the grass is showing through and it's just planks. So let's see how that looks. It's not, like I said, normally I would use this on the beach and make them like the color of the sand. But you can see then we have like a boardwalk. I could make the lines a little bit thinner. It does look a little bit weird with the green, but it's still a nice option. I think you can see how to make that. Normally I would make them a sandy type of color, which you can choose what color looks best, most matched to the sand as yours. It's never perfect because we just don't have the right color options. But if we place those along the beach, it would look like a nice boardwalk. Then you can also add like fencing on the side if you wanted to. You know, really make it look whatever you want. So it's a nice option, and that's how that works. So let's make something else maybe like fun and easy. Oh, it's raining. I'm gonna have to come back. You'll never be able to see it. It just stopped raining. All right, we'll come back after the rain, guys. Alrighty guys, we're back. Let's hope we don't get more rain. I'm just gonna quickly show you how to make a couple other furniture items that are a little bit different. So if I go back, okay, so I'm gonna go to customize. I'm gonna add a new, do a couch to show you. So this is what it looks like. You can see over here on the layers that we have two options. One is this little one is just these tiny little legs. So I can choose it as, you know, material, whatever I want, and I can choose the colors. That doesn't matter, but you can see all that did was color the little legs on it. And then this top square is the material of the couch. So I'm gonna do the material of the couch just that I want, whatever texture I want on the outside of the couch, because we're gonna cover up the pillows. So I'm gonna make this, I think just a beachy couch. You could make it like wood, because like I said, if I made it wood, it shows it on all of it, but I'm just choosing what material I want for the outside of the couch, because we're gonna change the pillows. So I'm going to change it. Actually, let's look through some. I do like the beech woods right now. Making beachy couches. If you wanted to just do a pattern like this, like this is a new one. If I put this pattern on, I can also change the shape of it. I mean the size, sorry. So I can change the size. If I wanted to use that. Actually, let's just do that to quickly show. Let me change these to like let me just change the little legs to like a black metal. I don't know why, but let's see if that works. So we can see that. Okay, so now we have this patterned couch. I could just use this couch. I'm gonna add couch cushions, so I'm gonna add a square, and then I'm gonna, as you can see, it will either cover, you use one square to cover each of the cushions, so you can make them all different, or just do these ones, or just do these ones. So I'm going to make it big enough to cover that whole cushion, and then I'm just gonna make it black. I don't know why I'm doing this for, but oh, sorry. So then I made that black, I covered this whole cushion, and then I can go to my tools and click mirror, and it puts the exact same on that side. If I wanted to, and then I can just click away. If I just want to keep it like that, and then I could add another one, but I'm just gonna grab this square and mirror it again so that I can select it on the left. I select that mirrored one, and then I'm gonna move it up to the top here. And we could make this different if we wanted. We could make it purple, I don't know. I've never made this couch, so we're just on the fly here, but I'm just gonna make it black again for now. And then I'm going to, again, click my tool set and mirror it to the other pillow. Now we have this kind of crazy couch. I'm gonna go back here and check. So if I turn the glossiness up, I don't notice that looks kind of leathery to me. So what I did is went back to the texture down here, and then I'm turning the glossiness up. It does it on the whole item though, but like that kind of looks a little more leatherish to me, because once we start laying the squares on, they don't have a lot of texture. You can't get too much texture, but I can show you some things you can do. Yeah, so I kind of like that. I could also add like a motif if I wanted to. We can do Jack and Sally. Let's see if there's any there. Let's say we wanted this on here. When I added this motif, it's in black, so I need to change the color. So I could change it to this purple color if I wanted. So here's the thing with this tool. When I go to the toolbox, this global tool like I was telling you, you can see right now that this will wrap around the sides of the 3D object like that. If I turn this global tool off, it makes it flat. It makes it a flat motif wherever you put it. So that's what the global tool does. I could put it, you know, wherever. But this one, for this, I want to have it wrap around or kind of take on the shape of the pillow. I don't know if this actual couch makes sense, but I could then add a different motif on this side if I wanted to. We didn't really have a lot of options, did we? Could do whatever. So these little gradient squares are really good also. So if I added this because I wanted to make it look a little bit worn or give it some kind of texture here, or just to make like an ombre, I could do that. I kind of like to do that on the edges of couch cushions sometimes to make it look a little bit worn, but this one we're just, you know, playing around with for fun. So another thing about this tool is when I have everything here that I want, like if I need to move, like say I want to move this motif above that last layer that I put because I don't want it to be like gradient over it, I select it, or I don't select it over here, I hold it down over here, and then I can move it within my layer, so I can move it behind, When you move it down, it puts it behind those layers. So if I moved it down here, it's under the black square so you don't see it anymore. And if I moved it up, it goes above that, which is kind of hard to see on this one, but that's how you move the layers here. So again, once we have our couch how we want it, I can use it wherever I want. However many I craft, I could use this on or any of my other like couch customizations. You can see here it tells me I have 70 rugs made because I use a ton of rugs, or I used to or have before. I have four couches left to use. So it does tell you how many you have in your inventory if you need to craft more. And then let's make something else simple. So like you can make these simple tables. And so let's make a matching chair. You can make picnic tables, but let me just show you this really fast. So if I create this basic chair, again, I have the 2 texture options. So I have one for the seat and one for the outside wood, or whatever texture you want the outside to be. You could make metal chairs or whatever you want. So I'm gonna make this match this table, which is a beachy type of wood, this birchwood type of wood. And then I'm gonna select, I think, the same colors, which looks kind of like this. Oh, actually this isn't birchwood, this is the other wood. It doesn't matter because I'm just showing for show, but so I wanted this just kind of like a whitewashed type of wood. I put this in my like spring city area by the bakery. So I selected that. I'm going to turn the gloss down on it. And then I'm going to select the seat. And again, I'm just going to select the material, which I usually like this material for the seat, but there's many options. You could just pick a pattern and make it the color you want. Like these would be cute. I mean, all kinds of things, obviously, right? I'm just going to select this one and then make it like a pinky color, like that. I think that's good enough. And then I have a cute little spring table and set for the, so it's very easy. Like I said, you can do that with any of the things that you have crafted. As soon as you make stuff and set it down, someone's got to come sit in it, you know? So I think that should be good to go through all the different tools. So let me know if this was helpful, and let me know if I missed anything or if the speed was okay or anything like that. I really appreciate feedback. If you would like to put anything in the comments, and let me know if you would like specific tutorial on how to make any specific designs or items, or like, you know, a look for a particular house or anything like that. I definitely can do that if you would like. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you did like the video, please put a like on it and subscribe if you haven't. And I hope you have the most wonderful rest of your day.